I'm here at one of my banana tree bunches. I'm just going to run through some very quick tips on how to care for your bananas. So you want to have 3 or 4 bananas in a bunch at a time or in a group. So you want to have a grandmother, a mother and a daughter. Ideally, you can have a 4th one, and that just helps you maintain the bananas. It helps all the energy go to the plant that's having a bunch of bananas on it, so the plant that's fruiting, rather than giving lots of energy to new pups coming up. And it also just helps you manage them, because when you've got so many, it's kind of hard to get in there. Sunlight doesn't get in there as well as it should, so it can affect the overall outcome of your fruit. And to get the best size bananas, the best tasting bananas, you want to keep it to 3 or 4 banana trees in that group. So your suckers down here, you just take them out. You can use a shovel to get them out. Also, you might be tempted at this time of the year to remove all these dead leaves as well, but don't. We're in autumn and banana trees don't love the cold, they don't love the frost. Here where we live, it does still get cold. We're not super tropical like up north perhaps. So don't remove them, because they're actually going to protect the plant through the cold period. So there's an example of how to remove the small pups, and you can replant these and create another area for bananas to grow. Did you know that bananas are considered a staple in many parts of the world, especially in the tropical regions? What you're after when you are getting off pups, if you want to replant them, if possible, try and get them with some roots like this. Now sometimes there's some in the middle here that you just can't quite get to, so that one I could probably get to with a shovel, but this one in the middle I probably can't. So sometimes you just have to cut them out. And they will re-sprout, so you're just going to have to keep cutting them. Like such. The other thing you should know is once a banana tree has fruited, it will not fruit again. So when you're harvesting that bunch of bananas, essentially cut down the whole tree. You can use it as mulch. I'll show you what I mean. So this is a different type of banana. This one's a ladyfinger. This bunch should almost be ready. I'm going to cut it down. It will ripen up inside. So to bring it down to my height without damaging the fruit, I cut a wedge into the tree. It's quite easy to cut the wedge. Banana trees are very fibrous and full of water, so they're not hard to cut. And then this way, the tree should come down without damaging the bunch of bananas. So we just gently tug on it. There are over 1,000 species of bananas. The most common species being Cavendish, dwarf Cavendish, ladyfinger, sugar bananas, blue Java bananas, or red Dhaka bananas. To reveal the bunch at my height where I can now harvest it. Just be aware too that this sap, it's pretty sticky, and anything it lands on, it will stain in like a black stain. So don't put it inside or anywhere that you don't want to be stained. Leave it outside to sort of drip for a while. Also, when you actually individually cut off these banana bunches, they'll also have that sap as well. You want to make sure you clean your garden tools after as well, because they'll get that sticky sap on them too. Oh yeah, one last thing. So what do you do with the banana tree? Cut it down. I chop it into pieces and I just feed it back to the plants. But you can do whatever you want. You can use it as mulch anywhere. I just find it's much easier to just chop and drop it right here. By chop and dropping these bananas, I'm feeding them. I am also mulching them, which helps with water retention. Of course, I'm letting airflow and sunlight through as well, which will help with the fruiting. I consider bananas an amazing thing to grow, especially if you want to have self-sufficiency, because they can be dried, frozen, made into flour, dehydrated, they can be eaten fresh, they can be made into cakes or bread and heaps of other things. And here's an example of why you want to maintain your bananas. See how dark it is in there? And I mean, these are quite tall, these bananas. So in terms of trying to manage them, once you let them get out of control, this is not my bananas, these are next door. And I can see some banana flowers on there and some bunches of bananas right on the end here. So they're still producing bananas. And there's another flower coming out just there. And there's heaps in the middle. But it just depends how much space you've got. If you've got lots of space, you can let these take over. And if you don't mind having a jungle type thing, I'm quite petrified of snakes. So I like to keep my bananas maintained. Also, they're in my food forest. So I don't want them taking over my food forest. So I'm quite happy just to keep them in their bunches of 3 or 4. In terms of fertilizing bananas, this is a red banana, by the way, they do like a lot of organic matter, nitrogen, phosphorus, and all the good things. You don't want to give them too much nitrogen though, because that will just encourage leaf growth rather than fruit growth. You can either give them a balanced fertilizer, but I never fertilize my banana trees. All I do is chop down the old suckers and place them at the bottom of the banana tree as feed. So they're kind of, as they grow, I chop them down and I'm just feeding the bananas to themselves. It's sort of a self-sustaining loop. And one other thing, they do like water. They like moist soil. They like well-drained soil. They don't mind clay as long as they're not sitting in water, because you might get root rot and things like that. But they are about 75% water and it will affect your fruit crop. So if you have a dry year and you haven't been watering your plant, you will either have no bananas at all or really dry, tiny things that you probably won't want to eat. So they do love a bit of moisture. That's why these ones here do so great. The dam's right there. And we get quite a bit of water coming through here. It keeps them nice and moist. So there you go. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gives you more knowledge so that you can grow bananas quick and easy too.